All right, so Jay, one of my favorite times in the NBA season, and probably the same for you, is the NBA trade deadline.
Oh, yeah. Good time.
Which comes up this Thursday, the 25th. So all trades have to be done and finalized by that time. But it also, the buyout market, teams being able to buy out players, thus making them free agents, is also, I mean, we're still in that.
Yeah. We got I think trade deadline is Thursday.
So does the buyouts, do they go beyond that?
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so there's some free agents, some big time free agents, former All-Stars and current All-Stars who are potentially on the buyout market or the trade market. You have Andre Drummond, you have Lamarcus Aldridge, you have Kyle Lowry, and you have Lonzo Ball. So starting with Andre Drummond, where do you feel like, whether by trade or by buyout, would be the best landing spot for Andre Drummond?
LA. Lakers be perfect.
Lakers
be perfect for him. They give him another big man to go along with Anthony Davis. Even though, honestly, the Lakers play better basketball when Anthony Davis is a 5. Is that the 5? Mm-hmm. They kind of play a quote-unquote small ball. You know, Anthony Davis is 7 feet tall. I think they play better with him at the 5, but Drummond could give them some more post work, some more rebounding, some more second chances, and let Anthony Davis kind of be more lax on the outside and play more of a inside-out game until he's ready to really get in the post. But it gives them two big men that can play independent of each other. I mean, Drummond can come off the bench. He can be that 6-man, technically. What do you think?
I think that's a good spot for him. I think they probably want him more than anyone. I mean, I knew that once James Harden went to the Nets, that Andre Drummond, because I'd already kind of caught wind that he was going to be on his way out of Cleveland, but that the Lakers were really going to want him. The Lakers were going to need him because I said that that's right now that'd be the only way to beat LeBron is to have more than what he's got. So I think Andre Drummond, he gives them their third star. He's a former All-Star. The guy who can get you 20-20 on any given night. And we know that the playoffs, a big part of the playoffs is about controlling the paint. Both on offense and on defense.
And rebounding, yes.
So he would give them the ability to do that. And you said earlier, especially during this time, since LeBron James is going to miss some time, Anthony Davis has already missed time and is going to miss more, to be able to bring him in and begin the acclimation process and maybe even get a win or two because of his productivity is something that can help them to stay afloat the way that they would want to under these difficult circumstances. So I think that Andre would be perfect for them. I think that they've got to be his number one destination because he's made plenty of money. He's been to some All-Star games, but he's not even come anywhere near competing for a championship. Yep. This would definitely give him the opportunity to do that. This isn't the only team he could do that with, but I think that if they buy him out, that'll be the first place he's going to go. But it's possible if there are other places that they could want to trade him. But I think the Lakers, they're perfect for him.
I can see that.
That'd be the biggest big three we ever seen, right? With 2 7-footers and 6'9" Mack Truck LeBron.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so up next, Lamarcus Aldridge, also former All-Star, current San Antonio Spur. By and large, has been a 2010 guy, except for these last couple of seasons. And he is on the don't play while we try to work out a trade or buy you out market as well.
Yep.
So for Lamarcus Aldridge, where do you think would be the best spot for him?
The best landing spot for Lamarcus Aldridge, to be honest, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me to really figure out where he will play the best out of anybody. Mm-hmm. So as a buyout, probably Portland. He would be an interesting piece to add to Portland's dynamic. He probably shouldn't have never left Portland. I think they'd be a lot better team with him, Dame, and McCollum. Mm-hmm. More of an underdog fighter type roster because no one really thinks Lamarcus Aldridge is that much of a threat. I mean, if you watch the way he backs people down, you can tell that it doesn't feel like he's even that physical. Mm-hmm. But Portland, to me, feels like a great landing spot. Maybe Miami, but I think Portland's probably the best. What you got?
I like Miami. You say Miami. I like that. I thought about the Jazz for some reason.
Interesting.
Because I know that, they have the 2 All-Stars in Gobert and Mitchell. You have the other All-Star, the old man, Mike Conley. But I think that the 4 spot, I think that there's an opening there. I think that they do take quite a few threes, but he just seems to fit. He seems like he would be a good fit personality-wise for that team. I mean, as long as he's been in the league, he has to carry some leadership with him. And I think...
some.
Yeah,
gotta hope, right?
But I think that Utah knows, even though they're number one in the West by 2 games over Phoenix, they know that they don't have enough, honestly, in the playoffs to get past the Lakers, to probably get past the Nuggets, and probably to get past the Suns. So he's something that can give them a little bit extra to push them more towards being the true number one in the West and actually at least making it to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, so I would say maybe Utah's a good spot.
Okay. Who else you got?
Next, this one I'm really excited about. Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors. By trade or by buyout. Again, he's a champion, former All-Star. Where do you think would be the best spot for Kyle Lowry? It seems though they're ready to give the basketball to Fred VanVleet full time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so rumor has it the Heat are very much active in the pursuit for Kyle Lowry. They need a point guard. Perfect spot.
It's perfect because he fits Jimmy Butler perfect.
Yep.
I mean, both grinders, hard workers, and you don't want to fight them. Nobody would want to fight them.
Yep, Philly, Chicago. Right. Yeah, just go. They hustle.
I like that. I think the Clippers are more desperate for him than Miami is. You know, Patrick Beverley, however you feel about him, I think he's a pretty good point guard, really good defender. But having Kyle Lowry, what he can give you on offense and his leadership and the fact that he has played with Kawhi Leonard before and won a championship. I mean, Kyle Lowry, he's clutch. We just talked about his toughness. I think that he would be exactly what that team's need. He could be the vocal leader that people will actually believe in and get behind. I mean, all 5'9" of him, he is a walking leader. He's what this team needs, again, in order to compete with, as a matter of fact, I was talking to Chris about this on Saturday. We went through like 4 or 5 teams in the West, and right now the Clippers, as currently constructed, they can't beat any of them. Like I wouldn't pick them over any of them. I wouldn't pick them over Phoenix. I wouldn't pick them over the Lakers. I wouldn't pick them over the Nuggets. I probably wouldn't pick them over the Blazers either.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Jazz too?
I probably would pick them over the Jazz, but still, with the teams I just named, they're going to run into one of those in one of the first 2 rounds, and they're going to lose. But with Kyle Lowry, that could change all that. The Clippers need him. I don't know what they have left to trade, so maybe they're hoping for a buyout. Because if not, and he's played with Serge Ibaka as well, who can they trade? How can they get him without a buyout?
Yeah, that's the problem is money and assets are 2 things that they don't have anymore. I mean, Oklahoma City has all their draft picks.
Right.
And yeah, so there's no assets there to really get Kyle. And like I said, they have to make the money match up. And we talked about this last show, what pieces they could put in there, and that's where their biggest problem is. They don't really have any assets to go. So I don't see him there.
And the Clippers?
I don't see him with the Clippers. I don't see him with the Clippers at all. It just doesn't feel like a good landing spot for what they're trying to do. Now they do need a point guard, especially because Patrick Beverley has been like this as far as injuries go. So he would fill that void, but I don't see him. One, I don't see him making it. And I guess that's the reason why I don't see it working out, because I don't see him. I don't see a path to get him there. Let's put it like that. Okay. You got any other players?
So lastly, Lonzo Ball of the Pelicans, who apparently is on the trade block.
Yeah, he has been highly sought after. I've seen over the last few days. One team that would be really interesting in getting him, and I think would probably make them an even stronger candidate, Denver. Imagine him with the Nuggets.
Interesting.
Imagine him with the Nuggets.
Because then on offense, you can move Jamal Murray, who's a scorer in point guard's clothing, to move him to the 2. But then on defense,
he can guard the 1 exactly, because Lonzo is 6'7" guard with the wingspan. He could be the defender that you need. He could basically be like the Sean Livingston mix up with Steph Curry. He'd be perfect to put them together. And Lonzo's having
he's having a good season.
Oh, he's having a great season. That nobody expected him to have. I mean, he's 42 from the field, 38 from 3. His free throws are still, of course, lackluster, but he's
what are the raw stats? Points, rebounds,
14, 4 boards, 5 assists, 5.6 assists. Well, so he's doing a lot more. I mean, he's down on the rebounds and assists, but I think that's more so because of the Zion effect and Brandon Ingram. But he is contributing a lot more everywhere else.
Here's my question: why do they want to get rid of him then?
They're not going to make the playoffs. I don't think they want to get rid of him. I think people are calling them about him.
Okay.
I think it's the opposite. I don't think they want to get rid of him, but everybody's saying, hey, we need a point guard who can contribute. Can we talk about I think
That's right,
Lonzo's
because
making him.
they have Eric Bledsoe from the Drew Holiday trade?
Yep.
Huh. Well, what about Eric Bledsoe? What if they say, okay, if Lonzo Ball is not available, what about Eric Bledsoe? He would have to be available.
Eric Bledsoe?
Mm-hmm. He's not getting any minutes. I mean, he can still be a contributor.
I don't know if he can really be a
Was
contributor.
Is he done?
Yeah, it seems like it. I haven't heard about anybody wanting him. I got two of them for you. I'm curious about your take on these two players.
Okay. Aaron landing spots?
Yeah, Aaron Gordon.
Okay. Let's see. Power forward, but he looks more like a 3. Good athleticism.
He's 6'10".
Using around 15, 16 points a game. He's going to be a consolation prize for somebody. But for his skill set, I mean, again, a team who would need a 4, so maybe the Jazz, maybe I don't know where he fits. He's a weird player to assess.
Yeah, he's 6'8".
Do you have a lead? What about Miami? Who's there for? Because Adebayo plays a 5, right?
I think he plays a 3-ish, 3-4. I think he's 3-4.
He's like a 3-4-5.
Yeah, 3-4-5. He's
like
every. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There you go. He is a hybrid.
Jimmy
there you
Butler, they don't have Miles Leonard anymore, so he could help to fill that void as well.
That's a potential.
So maybe Miami.
Huh. Didn't think of that. Phoenix
for him. They got a spot open. You got your center, you got your 2 guards, you got your point guard. So yeah, that's a good spot.
Give you a whole bunch of height. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Bam basically pays the 5, but he probably would fit better there. But yeah.
Now, do the Suns? Because I haven't watched them much this season. Do they really get up and down the court? I mean, Chris Paul, he seems like more of a half-court point guard, but do they really get up and down the court? Because that would really help to showcase and utilize Aaron Gordon's athleticism if they do.
I haven't looked at their pace.
He doesn't seem like he would excel in an offense that's dominated by the half-court sets. He needs to run. He needs to get in transition.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, add him. I mean, who would you rather have at power forward, Aaron Gordon or Jay Crowder?
Well, see, now don't underestimate Jay Crowder.
I'm not underestimating Jay Crowder, but who would you prefer to have, Aaron Gordon or Jay Crowder? Like, I like Jay Crowder for his defense.
Honestly, I don't know if I would. I would say Jay Crowder.
Ooh, it's interesting.
A big part of why Miami was successful in the bubble was because of Jay Crowder, because of his 3-and-D ability.
Yeah, it's true.
So Aaron Gordon, again, he's a nice player. He's more athletic than he is anything else.
Yeah.
Whereas Jay Crowder, we know what he excels at. We know exactly what he is. He's a veteran, and he seems like he would excel more. He understands Chris Paul. He's the Chris Pauls, the Jimmy Butlers. He can get along with those types. Aaron Gordon, I'm not sure that he would like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then your last one is going to be Harrison Barnes.
the old man who just won't go away. Harrison Barnes.
Oh, the old young man. Because I don't even think he's 30 yet. Is he 30 yet?
I have no idea.
He's 28 years old.
How about Milwaukee?
Ooh, that would be a lot. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Do you think he could work there? Because they would have to push Middleton to the 2. You'd have Drew Holiday, Middleton. You'd have Giannis at the 4, Brook Lopez. So you could slide Harrison Barnes at the 3. He can play the 3 or the 4. So he can hit some outside shots. He's a veteran.
He's a potential 3D guy.
So I would say Milwaukee. Because you notice we're talking about playoff teams because the teams who know that they're not going to the playoffs, which for some reason, and I still don't understand this, Toronto, they've got players and firepower all over that team that nobody knows about, and they're sitting there at 17-25. So
they have played
we're
awful
underestimating them in terms of they might be looking to make some moves to get themselves really, because this year you have that play-in tournament from the 7 to 10 seeds, which would be interesting if that's where the Lakers fail and ended up in the Western Conference, is having to play their way into the playoffs. But I think that's what Toronto's trying to do. So some of these free agents, such as a Harrison Barnes, might be able to help them do that.
You want to know where I think will be great for him?
Where?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Atlanta. They are the 4 seed right now in the East. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Hunter's out. Mm-hmm. Why not add a Harrison Barnes? Continue to keep Gallinari on the bench, him and Bogdan, because both of them have spent a lot of time injured. Mm-hmm. Yeah, put him out there, Harrison Barnes with them.
I like that.
That'll be a good setup.
Because they're a young team. They could benefit from his experience. So, yeah, I like that.
Exactly. So, See where these free agents go.